We are back, and today we are going to discuss a very troubling, concerning topic. A topic in which that can take place behind any family closed door, essentially, as we seen when we talked about Diana's book, that in the marriage, in the wrestling world, not everything is always as it seems. Today I'm going to be reading some select passages from Julie Hart, Heartstrings, My Life with Brett and the Hart Family. It was a good read. It's a short read. It's just, I think it's not even about, the whole book isn't even 200 pages. It's a great companion piece to that major Bret Hart autobiography release. My life within the cartoon world, or something like that. But this was also a great piece as well. And Julie talks a lot in the book about what it was like. Bret being this massive hero to fans all over the world. But she shed some light on essentially what he was like, when he got off the plane. And he wasn't that hitman character anymore. He was Bret Hart, husband, family man, out there cutting the grass, cooking the supper at 6 o'clock, So she provides some really great insight and makes a lot of very shocking claims, which Bret has not come out about. We're going to get into them. We're going to get into them here now. Here we go. So this essentially would be Julie speaking here now. So I soon found out why Bret had been paging me like crazy. Paul, the director of Wrestling with Shadows, was back in Calgary and needed us to reshoot an important scene. I spoke with Paul and explained our situation, and she's referencing the fact that they were divorced at this time, saying there was no way I was doing anything to help Bret. He was surprisingly sympathetic. I had only told a few of our mutual friends about the divorce so far, and have been hurt by their insensitivity, for the most part. All I got from anyone close to Bret was, get over it, blank happens. I had suspected this would happen, but I felt abandoned by many people I once considered friends. I ended up agreeing to reshoot the scene as a favor to Paul. I arrived at the house, and after Paul went over what we needed to do, we started filming. It was extremely surreal to talk to Bret, as nothing had happened. After we shot the scene, Bret asked me to come upstairs and talk for a minute. Now, be warned, this is where it does get a little concerning here. I reluctantly followed him up the stairs, thinking, now what? I sat on the bed, and he shut the door and stood in front of me. I looked away and asked him what he wanted. All he said was, you know what I want. He took my hand, pulled me up, and led me to the bathroom. I don't know why I didn't resist. I guess in the back of my mind I was hoping he was coming to his senses and would ask me to stay with him. And then this is very troubling. This is really shocking. As Bret puts it, one for the road, he said afterwards. I felt ashamed, feeling stupid that I had given in to those charms. Now, that is very troubling. Just the idea, Bret, this national hero, sure, he had the private issues with the wife, had the divorce, but, essentially, getting one off, to this woman who was the mother of the child and, who stood by him. And, now, he gets the ass and he's just calling it one for the road. It is troubling. Now, that is one passage. Now, we get to the other shocking claim here. I'm just trying to get. Oh, here we go. Brett was still on the road a lot and stayed with our friend Dean whenever he slithered into Calgary. He would sometimes be home and not bother to call the kids. I would find out from friends that he was home and be furious with him. The kids would count down the days until their father returned, and he would leave them counting. They had been expecting him to be home by Canada Day. They were hoping that he would take them out to see the fireworks. He called them on Canada Day, though he had been home for days, and told them he was coming to pick them up. The kids stood on the street in front of the house for hours, on and off, all afternoon. And, in the peak of that 90s era, I can just imagine the excitement. Beans would come, I guess that's the name of the rather unorthodox name of one of the daughters now. Beans would come in with tears in her eyes asking where her dad was. I angrily called his cell, which he had shut off. I lost my cool, called the kids, told them to come inside and speak with me. I complained about their father, told him he had a girlfriend who he was probably busy smoking pot with. The older kids, Dallas and Jade, already knew about the pot smoking. They caught Brett reeking of it before. The girlfriend was new. And I told them exactly what I thought of her. I knew I had made a mistake when I saw how big and tear-filled my daughter's eyes became. I tarnished the image of her father. That's a very troubling issue as well. I'm very sorry that the family had to be exposed to that, because Brett was living this luxurious, high-risk, drug-fueled, sexualized lifestyle, while his family was at home. It was about 9 o'clock in the evening when he finally showed up with Dean. They were both stoned and had been drinking and driving, I guess. Well, it doesn't say that specifically. So we were pulling out of the driveway as he pulled in. I was talking to the kids about going to the fireworks myself with them. I wanted to keep going, but he shouted at me. I told him I had talked to the kids about his recent behavior. Then it was like everything happened in slow motion. Now, again, warning, this is where things get very troubling, disturbing, shocking, sinful. Brett asked me to get out of the car. He wanted to talk to me alone. I told him to F off, and he punched at my window. That's when the kids really started to scream. I got out of the car, and he grabbed me by my arm and led me away from the kids. He pulled me around to the side of the house and asked me what I had told them. I told him that they knew about the girlfriend, that they always knew about the pot. He slammed me against the wall and said, "You effing blank. I hate you. I hate you." Good God. And, this was a man, who was looked at as this major family. He talks about it himself, when the kids are watching the Hitman. You don't need to worry what kind of content is going on the television. But if they really knew what was going on behind closed doors, they might not look at him as such a hero. This is the last passage. Again, another very shocking, almost unbelievable claim here. The next time Brett called, it was with a warning. He told me he'd gotten a test for hepatitis after going to the doctor to find out why his hands wouldn't stop itching. And I said I should probably get tested too. The fear of passing something on to my kids inspired a massive round of swearing and name-calling. How dare you do this to them? Expose them to your blanking behavior, you blanking lowlife. I curse you and every girl you've ever been with for putting my children in danger because of your self-centeredness. I don't think I took a breath in that whole moment of fear and anger. You know, we all know, marriage can be tough, you know, especially like I mentioned before for these legends. I mean, nights, years, months on the road, sampling all these different types of women, drugs. And then, you have to go back to the regular wife and family. It can be tough. So, I don't totally blame Brett for the behavior. But in a way, I am very happy that a lot of it came forward from Julie. So I'm going to thank her for writing this book and putting the story out there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.